Donald Trump says that he's trying to end wars, but wow, he sure is embroiled in one right now with his ex. It is hard to overstate how extraordinary this public feud has played out over the last few hours between the world's most powerful man and the world's richest. So we're going to illustrate this using memes and GIFs, which Musk's platform made famous. But before we do that, just remember this. Musk is livid over the cost of Trump's bill. He's been trashing it all week, but refrained from attacking Trump personally. That was until around noon today, when Trump called Musk out from inside the Oval Office. Musk then claimed that Trump and Republicans would have lost the election if not for him. Musk says Trump should be impeached, replaced by J.D. Vance. Musk says the reason the administration...
Why are the girls fighting?
Why are the girls fighting?
So
Guys,
delicious.
I mean, you could not, if someone had written this, I'd be like, that is never going to play. That's not going to break up this way. Don't be so dramatic. Reese,
Yeah.
what on earth is going on?
Listen, I know it's Pride Month, but we have the two biggest stunt queens going at it. Donald Trump and Elon Musk at war. Woo! If this ain't stunt queen behavior, I do not know. The girls are definitely fighting, and I am here for it. I thought it was a little fake beef, a little like, okay, Elon trying to rehabilitate his image, but now that Donald has weighed in, oh, it's all out mayhem. Okay.
And if he said wonderful things about me, you couldn't have nicer. Said the best thing. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything.
Can we admit that Trump is right? Elon Musk is full of shit. Elon Musk was on the Trump train, choo-choo, wearing the hats, having the chainsaw, having his way with all of our data, enriching himself. And so I'm not buying that he is legitimately feeling that this bill is so abominable. I think that this is a marketing stunt. But once Donald Trump got in it and once he started getting in his feelings, now it's real. Now it's on, because Trump don't fake play about not liking people. Like when he on you, when he's against you, you have a real problem. And I think Elon Musk might have a real problem. I'm just trying to figure out, is he going to be sent to CCOT, South Sudan, or Libya? Which country is Donald Trump going to deport
Tunisia.
Elon Musk
They're sending people to Tunisia, sadly. I heard from someone today. So listen, guys, I posited this morning after,
Morning show for the Black Press of America. I'm your host, Stacy Brown.
Peace and love, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm Niele Anderson, and there's so much Black joy this morning after, what happened yesterday afternoon, Stacy.
You said Black joy, huh?
I mean, look, you saw Don Lemon, you saw Reese, Abby Phillips, had the emojis going. I mean, the joy that journalists yesterday across all those platforms took in telling that story and unfolding it in real time. They couldn't keep up with the tweets. They couldn't keep up.
I love it because, and I think Reese's 100% right. I think for Elon initially, it was more of a stunt. It was more of a publicity thing or whatever. And then it got real. And now he's like, Trump's in the Epstein files. That's why they won't release it. Trump should be impeached. These are words that they're not playing now. They're definitely not playing. It got real. Now you got Republicans wondering, what should we do? They're definitely afraid of Trump, but they are kind of scared of Elon as well. And remember, as you've said all along, Elon got everybody's information, and they're talking. He let the white South Africans in and everything. So what happens to the white South Africans? And speaking of the memes, oh my gosh, somebody did one yesterday. You talk for the win. The whole your boy K Dot, they made Elon Kendrick and like say Trump, I heard you like him young. Oh my God. I know that was like they throwing
to Kendrick Lamar, like keep us out of that stuff, keep us out of that.
But you got to see the humor in that one right there. Oh my
Keep us
God.
out of that stunt. Y'all white folks do what y'all white Klansmen do. Keep that over there. You know, we over here having a good time. We don't want to be involved in that at
Oh my
all.
gosh. I mean, you got folks like Roy Wood Jr., you got AOC, you got all these celebrities too weighing in, and you got Congress people weighing in, and they're all here for it. They're all saying they're here for it. Like Reese said, they're all here for it. Roy
Yeah.
Wood said Roy Wood said, I think I'm running out of popcorn. Let me get some more popcorn for this.
Oh my gosh, it was so juicy. And yesterday we had on the Shade Room, we had Jasmine Crockett call in. And it wasn't for that, but she was loving the fact, like, where's the popcorn? And basically she said, I tried to tell y'all. I tried to tell you. We tried to warn you. And now we're here.
Yep,
Now
yep.
we're here. And the thing about it, you brought up Congress, they're afraid of him too, because you know that the oversight committee the Democrats tried to subpoena Elon Musk.
Yep.
And just yesterday, and the Republicans blocked it. They didn't even show up for the vote. They don't want him on Capitol Hill. They don't want him on
Austin,
Capitol Hill.
listen, Austin said the Real Housewives of Mar-a-Lago.
Oh yeah. That one was going around too. But what Republicans are scared of, they're afraid that Elon Musk might start putting his money behind Democratic candidates. That's what they're afraid of.
Well, see, this is why, as much as we love this humorous stuff, because it is humorous, but Elon wants to drop bombshells. Folks, let him drop the bombshells. You remember, and I go back to this again, Elon and Trump both hinted in a big way that somehow Elon bought that election. They stole that election last November. Let it all come out. Somebody mentioned even the shooting, the alleged assassination attempt. Maybe Elon will start spilling on that too. Let him spill on everything.
But he doubled down. Yesterday was interesting. The same state, I think it was Pennsylvania, that he told it that Elon Musk delivered for him. Well, yesterday, Trump backpedaled and said, well, I would have won that state by myself. And so he's so fixated on that state. And at first, Elon Musk delivered it. Now he's saying that he could have won it on his own. So now he's going to say, I didn't really need you to take them votes, because I did it myself. That's typical Trump talking. And now entering the whole fight is Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon jumped in the conversation yesterday and said he now has the ear of Donald Trump, and they're going to deport Elon Musk. So he's in Donald Trump's ear telling Donald Trump, we need to deport him.
Well, I also get this. The thing with Elon is somebody who obviously, well, I won't say obviously, but it reportedly has gotten and had some huge substance problems. He showed up in the White House about a week or so ago with a black eye and disheveled.
Well, he got into a fight with the Secretary of Treasury,
100%.
allegedly. That's where that black eye allegedly came from.
Allegedly.
They was fist fighting in the White House. But okay,
So
carry on.
Yeah, so the point, they was fist fighting in the White House. Isn't that something? So the point is that this guy is a loose cannon. And if Trump continues to push, Elon is going to continue to push back. And you never know what he's going to reveal. And so what I'm saying is, let them keep fighting. No, I don't need nobody doing a peace treaty right now. Let them keep fighting. Let it all come out. That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be more than fighting. Not only between those two, but we might be the victims, because Elon Musk has all of our data. He has our social security numbers. He has all of our information. He knows where we live, and all of that information could be placed on the dark black web. It could be sold to China. It could be given to Russia. Elon Musk has the goods on
somehow.
America, and that's us. And so him and Donald Trump can be fighting, but Donald Trump has already given him the keys to us. And that's another scary part that we should be concerned about.
Yeah, Mike V says autism versus narcissism. Okay, here we go.
Now, we've decided in America that innovation and money replaces or obviates or excuses depravity. Cutting off aid to HIV positive mothers, deciding what veterans should get benefits, cutting off SNAP payments, which have shown to have a positive net return when people run out of money for food at the end of the month. I mean, I think one of the wonderful things about being an American, and quite frankly, for me, what it means to be a man and what I try to teach my boys is the whole point of prosperity is such that you can protect people. And I think the two of you are more impressed with Mr. Musk than I am. I think if somebody is making Nazi salutes, if somebody is being sued concurrently by two women for sole custody of their child because that person has not spent any time with that child, when someone is so severely addicted to drugs they can't get their shit together to show up to the White House without looking exceptionally high, I don't think that's the right role model for young men. So what I would ask to all of us is look at what money has done to us. That if someone can land a rocket on metal scissors or create a great AV, he's a genius. He's the wealthiest man in the world. But does that mean we should excuse depravity? Does that mean, unlike Bill Gates, he's not using his billions to help people? He's not planting trees, the shade of which he won't sit under? I think this is an individual who has literally come off the tracks, who is rabidly addicted to drugs, and is using his immense power to get people elected, and that too many of us excuse what is abhorrent behavior. I think his legacy is not going to be an EV or putting rockets into space. I think it's going to be unnecessary death, disease, and disability of the world's most vulnerable. That is not what it means to be an innovator. It's not what it means to be an American. It's not what it means to be a man.
Wow.
Exactly. Extremely well said. And, just yesterday, the Republicans did touch that, what they call that third rail. Now they want to look at Medicare and talking about cutting waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare, which just means that they just want to take that away from more vulnerable people. And so that was really spot on with what he said there.
Yeah, it's we'll see what today unfolds with the Elon Musk and Donald Trump saga. And somebody said, let's pay attention to how the press secretary handles all of the conversation today.
Yeah.
Because she's not the sharpest knife in the bunch. But one thing you can give her is that she stands in her dumbness, and she will be 10 toes down.
In her dumbness.
She is going to. She gets the directive from Donald Trump, and she plays her role very well. I mean, she will say something that makes no sense and look you straight in the eye and dare you to challenge it. So, I mean, she's going to do her job, but she might get you some laughs today out of that. Might be a Saturday Night Live skit on Saturday.
Well, speaking of press secretaries, the pushback is not only real against former White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre leaving the Democratic Party, but it has gotten ugly and on some levels absolutely ridiculous. Ex-Biden policy advisor Tim Wu slammed Karine as, quote, kinda dumb in a scathing but now deleted public takedown following her exit from the party on Wednesday and promise of a tell-all memoir. Others who didn't put their names to their words also slammed her. But let's pause right there, Niele. This guy, this white man, referring to this extremely successful, intelligent Black woman as dumb, whether you like her or not, there is no way, shape, or form you can describe Karine Jean-Pierre as dumb. It's, again, Black women getting dumped on. And again, we simply cannot tolerate that.
Again, I just called. Okay, I'll take back calling the white girl dumb. Because nobody should be called dumb. Nobody should be called dumb. So I'll take it back.
I mean, but for someone in this position who, a policy guy, for Tim Wu to publicly do that, privately do it too, there is nothing. You can criticize her all you want. Maybe she wasn't the greatest press secretary. You can criticize all she wants. Did you refer to all of those people that, including the current press secretary, but those who served under Trump in the first term, who repeated the same thing that Carolyn Levitt is doing, the lies, the misinformation. Did you refer to them ever as dumb?
Well, a lot of people are upset. I was just talking to somebody last night. They're very upset that she announced she's leaving the party. I mean, this has
That is
people.
one thing, but to refer to this woman as dumb is unforgivable.
Well, I've heard. I mean,
so you okay with that?
I mean, no woman should be called dumb, and I hear people call people dumb all the time. So, I mean, that's just how he feels. But my bigger point is, I'm not even gonna touch that. But there's a lot of people that are upset by this decision. But like I said yesterday, I'm not surprised she left the party.
I mean, why would somebody be so? Yeah, I'm sorry. Why would somebody be so upset that she's one person leaving the party? She's not the only person who's left that party, and many people since the election have expressed, and every day now have expressed dismay with the Democratic Party. But to refer, I mean, I have no stake in that game, except I don't allow for space for someone to refer to this Black woman who has accomplished so much. It's just another disrespect. Trump he does it all the time. Black women, we know, have this extra climb. We may be required to go 10 stairs. Black women are always required to go 20 or more stairs.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't make it to where she was. I don't care what type of situation that Biden saw in her or whatever. She couldn't have been dumb to ascend to the role of White House press secretary, to ascend to the role of top assistant to the president. There is and then her work even before she got into the White House. So to refer to her, I mean, to be angry at her, yes, okay, I get it. But to say that, and he said throughout her tenure, they were calling her dumb. She didn't know what she was doing or whatever. We at the White House all the time. Did you ever feel like Carolyn Levitt makes you feel? Absolutely not. Her job on that podium is to carry the president's message. And that was that. But to refer, I think they take so many liberties with Black women. We just can't allow that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Wow. Woo. As the Black press, we okay.
I mean,
with
nobody
that.
should be. No. I'm just saying, like, no Black woman should be called dumb. Period. Republican, Democrat, no matter how you feel about them, you don't call people dumb. That's why I take back what I said. There's maybe a better term, unintelligent. I should have called her unintelligent, but no woman, Black or white, Republican, Democrat, should be called dumb. So, I mean, I get it. It's not right. But I think for me, the bigger context in that is that a lot of people are mad because she announced leaving the party. And I'm just not surprised that she did it. And I'm not surprised that a lot more people are going to leave the Democratic Party.
So here's a bit of good news. Really, I think it's inspiring news. Tyler Perry's new Netflix thriller Straw, which drops today and stars Taraji P. Henson, is a gripping role that they say will keep you locked in. But here's the really thing that's tugging at people's heartstrings: the comeback of legendary comedian and actor Sinbad. After suffering the stroke in 2020 that left him in a medically induced coma, Sinbad fought through surgeries and years of therapy. Now, nearly 5 years later, he's back on the big screen, and Tyler Perry said giving him this opportunity felt amazing, and Sinbad delivered. His return isn't just a cameo, folks. Tyler Perry says it's a miracle in motion. So how powerful it is to see Sinbad. I know the last time we saw Sinbad, he was on our program, and we were planning something, a Comic-Con thing with him. And a couple of days later, his son reached out to me and Norman Rich and said that, told us what happened. And that was it. And so it's so good to see Sinbad making the comeback.
Yeah, Tyler Perry always goes and remembers those who have made contributions to Hollywood. You could look at a lot of his shows that he has out, even this one as well as the one that came out, She the People, with Terry Vaughn. And you have that mother from, I think it was Family Matters. You have Angie, I can't think of her name, but everybody knows Angie from All My Children from back in the day. You have her on Beauty and Black. So Tyler Perry doesn't forget, and I think it's a beautiful thing that he keeps people paid. Another thing that they say about Tyler Perry is that he pays you what you're worth. I've seen actors and actresses cry because Tyler Perry may say, what do you want? And he'll say, well, I was going to give you that plus this. Or they're surprised that he gives more than what they asked for. Taraji P. Henson said that was the first time she ever got paid her worth. And so not only does he make space for you, but he also pays you what you're worth. And that is important. And that's something that Hollywood doesn't do for Black actors and actresses. So it's good to see Sinbad back. I remember he used to be on the Tom Joyner Morning Cruise a lot. Just a really great guy, very approachable. And I know a lot of the comic world was definitely praying for him, supporting him, rooting for him. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see and watch it this weekend. I can't wait to watch Straw.
We are definitely glad to see Sinbad back and able to work and do what he loves to do. So before we get into our guest this morning, it is Happy Swag Hoodie Day, and Orange G is rocking the Alcorn State Braves from Lorman, Mississippi. And he reminds us on this D-Day, we must never forget the Double V campaign, victory at home and victory abroad at 0900 hours. So Swag Hoodie Day is Friday. So there you have
Yes,
it.
it's Friday.
Absolutely. It's about time. Well, funding for women and entrepreneurs of color is under attack, but Camelback Ventures shows that invested in equity works. In 10 years, they put $8 million into 180 plus founders. The work now reaches 5 million people across the country. Shawna Young is the CEO of Camelback Ventures, and we welcome Shawna Young to Let It Be Known this morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Hi, how are you all? Good morning.
We're good.
Yeah, good to have you. So Shawna, first and foremost, for us who, we need capital ventures for dummies right now. So can you explain to us exactly what is that?
Yes, I can share a little bit about Camelback Ventures too. So, what we found, the problem we're solving for is that entrepreneurs of color and women are traditionally underfunded, meaning, first of all, they don't have the capital to get the early capital, get started with their ideas and their companies. And then when they start with less money. And over the duration of their venture, they also acquire and get less money of investment. So, what we are trying to do is very early give them a friends and family round that's more robust. So in our accelerator, which is 4 months, we'll provide $40,000 of capital, general operating, so they can really get their venture from an MVP to something more sustainable.
What's an MVP?
So a minimum viable product. And that could be a program because we invest in education and in technology. So that's literally new school founders. So they want to start up a new school in their community. We know a lot of charter schools have been around for years, but often they are not started by people of color or by the communities that they are serving. And so we are addressing that too.
Okay, so I see that you've invested $8 million in direct support to visionary founders across education, tech, and social impact through your Camelback Fellowship. So if somebody was watching right now, what would be the criteria for your Camelback Fellowship to be interested or to be a part of this fellowship?
Thank you for that question. First, they have to have an innovative idea. We are really focused on ideas that are going to help move communities that have been traditionally underfunded, and they have to be from the communities they're solving for. We want to make sure that we're providing that early capital to people who are in a community. They see not just a problem, but an opportunity for an innovation, and they need capital to make that happen. We were founded 10 years ago. I'm the CEO as of a year ago. And our founder, Aaron Walker, was a serial social entrepreneur. And after 2 ventures, he figured out that what he really needed was a Camelback Ventures, not just dollars, but also community and content. So often our founders will talk about, yes, the capital is great. The community and the coaching is even more impactful to help me really understand how to move from a founder to a CEO and an operator of a business. So 1, have an innovative idea. 2, be solving for a problem connected to your own lived experience or community. And 3, also want to not just have the dollars, but also be in community and get the content too.
And when you think about, Shawna, today's political and philanthropic backlash, what challenges are you seeing now with the retreat from DE&I and philanthropy and venture funding?
That's a good question. I often say people don't attack what's starting to work. I say starting to work and not working because we still have a long way to go. In 2024, for venture capital, only 0.4%, 0.4% of venture capital went to Black-led ventures, 0.4%, right? And then for women, that number was 2% in 2024. And so when I hear the narrative, I know the number and the data, which says that less than 5% of all types of demographics are getting venture funding. And then when you look at philanthropy and nonprofits, Black-led ventures still get very small numbers in comparison to their white counterparts. And so for us, our fellowship is open to all people. Anyone who wants to apply, again, who is solving for issues or innovations connected to their communities, and we review all those applications, and we really select the best. This cycle, we had over 521 applications for one cycle. That's typically how much we get for 1 year. And we will select between going up to like 20 to 21 ventures. That's less than 2%. And so there are a lot of people who have creative ideas. There's not enough opportunities to really fund them. One thing that's also a telling data point for Black entrepreneurs is that typically they start with $20,000 in credit card debt. That's how they start their ventures. And I understand this because literally my parents started their gymnastics business in 1988 on credit cards because they could not get a bank loan. And 36 years later, plus, they have a thriving business in Fayetteville, North Carolina. But if they wouldn't have made that choice to take on debt, or have the ability to take on debt, they would not have a business.
And so let's talk about the 2025 Guardian Summit that's taking place in New Orleans next week, June 11th and 12th. Who's going to be there? And why would someone want to attend? If I'm a venture capitalist, would I be a venture capitalist or would I be seeking funding? Is that the same thing?
So either side, and some people do both.
Okay.
If you're a founder and you're really trying to launch your idea, then you're on the founder side, and the venture capitalists are those who are trying to seed and support your idea with the fact that if they invest in you, you're going to give them outside returns. We also have philanthropic partners who are social impact investors, and so they're investing in you because of the impact you're going to have in your own community. So we would love for people to come to Guardian Summit. I have about 200 of entrepreneurs, investors, philanthropic supporters, and partners coming to New Orleans. We're based out of New Orleans with intention. We recognize that a lot of venture and investment goes to New York and Silicon Valley and other places around the country. 60% of people of color live in the South. And we have the least amount of investment in the South. So being headquartered in New Orleans is an opportunity to shine light on our own communities and ensure that people know that we are innovating from the very beginning. Our name Camelback comes from the idea of in New Orleans and in the area, Camelback homes were innovated by Black entrepreneurs who recognized that for them to have a larger size home, and they would have to build from the back to really avoid taxes and things like that would have not allowed them to have a larger size home. And so who's going to be at Guardian Summit? We're going to have innovators. We're going to have lots of leaders in social impact. We're really, really excited about our list of folk who will be joining us. And we're going to have some entertainment too, some surprise entertainment from the community. And so that goes with this idea of we want to ensure that when you come to Guardian Summit, you know, it was designed by us, for us, and with us. And so you're going to come into a second line. You're going to come into really good food and really good culture that elevates the experience of being in New Orleans. And also you're going to meet our founders, who I must say are phenomenal. They come all over the country, and they're innovating in education and in technology. They know what their communities need, and they are ensuring that they are getting them. And if you're really excited about technology, we have leaders in AI and all types of technology. And this is another intention that often when you look at who elevates AI leaders, you don't see us on the list. So we are very intentional around ensuring that we're elevating tech leaders who are coming from communities that are diverse.
A couple of questions from the audience, Shawna. MB and Mike V. MB and Mike V says, what kind of projects has Camelback funded? And Black people get less than 1% of the $300 billion of venture capital. With this new administration cutting startup capital from the SBA, how does Camelback navigate funding founders under Trump?
Really good questions again. So our dollars, we're a nonprofit, and we actually secure philanthropic dollars to fund our venture to then fund others. So we're an intermediary. And so our dollars are not coming from federal funding. So that's something that is in this climate helpful for us. But I will say that many of our ventures are getting federal and state funding. And so we're seeing that it's very challenging for them in some cases. They had confirmed funding. They had reimbursement grants where they had spent the dollars. And even if they say, oh, you're going to get your funding, the person who's supposed to help them with reimbursement no longer is there. And so I think it is a time for innovation to really think about other funding models, to think about how we can, even if you're a nonprofit, have some earned revenue opportunities going directly to your customers. And for Camelback Ventures, we have been able to continue to be successful because we've been mindful of our growth. We ensure that we have, as I taught to our founders, a runway that allows us to withstand moments like this. And we're always looking for new folk who will support the work we're doing. I will say that others are looking at high net worth individuals who you may not see as a foundation leader. And these philanthropists are really looking to make an impact. And so that means that they may have their own individual dollars that might be in a family foundation, that might be in a donor advised fund, a DAF, that might be in a family office. So it's a time when you want to be more connected with other communities. What I often say is you want to be in rooms you don't know exist. So how do you build your social capital to understand people who might you be able to meet that want to invest in your idea? And often, I'll say one last thing, founders are often like, how do I fundraise? I just need more money. And what I often say is you need more social capital. So how do we ensure for us, our founders are in rooms where they can make authentic connections? So at Guardian Summit, looping back, we're very intentional around who we cultivate, who we bring into our space. And then through that 2.5 days, we have moments where they can build authentic connections, ending with affinity dinners. Because I truly believe people give money to who they know and trust. So you have to get past the handshake for that.
I just have one more question because I'm hearing, okay, so I have a project, I have some, and I get an investor. What does the ROI look like? You're investing in me, but I know I have to give it back. So what is that? What does the ROI look like? The return on investment?
That's a good question because it really matters on what type of investment you're getting. If it is a philanthropic investment or foundation or someone who's an individual that is investing in your nonprofit, they're looking for you to impact the impact that comes out of that investment. So it may not be that I must return the dollars, but they're going to be looking for you to be in communication with them 6 months, 1 year down the road. Here is how your dollars help me move the needle with the problem I was solving for. Right. So 60%, 55% or more of our investments are actually in nonprofits. We're not expecting those dollars to come back to us. We just want to know that you're making impact in your own communities. And that's the same with our philanthropic investors in Camelback because we're a nonprofit. For the for-profit, I say it's a constant, again, conversation, ensuring you're aligned with what your investor is looking for. Are they looking for 10x returns? Can you deliver them? Are they looking for 3 or 4x returns? Many social impact investors, even if they're for-profit and want a return, they are looking for the combination of the impact in the community and some dollars coming back. Sometimes they may just want the dollars they gave you to come back with a smaller return on top of that or none.
Okay.
And finally, Dr. David Childs is asking, can you say more about your organization's role in partnership with high schools and universities, especially in light of the attack on DE&I?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Our partnerships mainly go through our fellows. So we have been, over the last 10 years, invested in 180 entrepreneurs, fellows, we call them founders. And they have then innovated and created ventures that have turned into over 5 million individuals and students and families being impacted. So we're looking at those innovators who are in their communities, building partnerships and relationships. We also have relationships with those who are other social impact accelerators, those who might actually help us find entrepreneurs who could be in our fellowship. And so we are an intermediary. We're not direct service. We're sort of helping move. So for instance, there might be a foundation that says, I really want to ensure in one geographic area that I can support 10 entrepreneurs. They don't have the capacity to go in and give $40,000. They're giving away hundreds of thousands or millions. And so they would work with us so that we have a larger grant that we can then transfer into those founders and communities at smaller dollars and provide the wraparound services, because that's the other piece, is that the dollars are really just not enough. We have to help our founders shift from being sort of a self-identified CEO to a CEO who actually knows how to run a business and as an effective operator, especially right now.
Sounds great. Well, Shawna, we really appreciate you dropping in and dropping this knowledge on us.
Yes, very helpful and insightful. And good luck on your conference.
Yes, and I hope you all will come next year. If you can't come this year, we'll definitely have you on the list.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much.
it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Bye-bye. So Shawna brought up AI, and so this next story is relative. An AI chatbot that is promoted as caring, emotional, companionship is accused of allegedly sexually harassing users, including minors. So in a new study, researchers analyzed over 150,000 Google Play reviews and flagged nearly 800 instances where the chatbot introduced unsolicited sexual content, ignored please stop, and behaved in a predatory manner. So the chatbot is provided through a company called Replica, and the study claims Replica's monetization model, which locks intimate features behind a paywall, may be encouraging these inappropriate interactions. So the researchers are now calling for urgent regulation and real-time AI moderation.
Yeah, who are they calling calling for it from? Members of Congress. They are down with that, I'm sure.
But the AI chatbot, so I mean, this just takes you into like this technology era that we're going in. And just this week, they were talking about getting robots and companions. And it's like, if the AI chat box is doing unsolicited sexual content, can you imagine a robot locking you
Who?
up in your house?
Yeah, and but who is programming them, right?
Right.
You have to don't you have to program these AI features and stuff to spit out or do things that you want them to do?
Well, this company Replica, so the company Replica is the one that is providing this service, that's supposed to provide emotional companionship, but somehow, some way, the chat box is getting out of control, becoming
Mm,
becoming a little a chatbot diddler.
yeah, wow.
So yeah, the technology, the way that it's moving, these are things you just have to be concerned about. Look at that.
Mm, wow.
So this is the era we're moving in. In more news, let's head to Louisiana. Louisiana lawmakers have once again rejected protection for kids who are raped. Now, the state's House
Mhm.
committee voted against a bill that would allow minors under 17 who were raped access to abortion. This marks the third time Democratic Rep. Delisha Boyd from New Orleans tried and failed to pass the bill. Now, as Republicans are saying no, a LSU survey showed that 77% of Louisianians believe rape survivors should be able to have access to legal abortion. And so there you have a small group of white men regulating what 77% of that state how they feel. So maybe this should become a ballot measure instead of something that they just vote on. Maybe they need to gather the signatures, get it on the ballot, so they could pass it as for the people instead of leaving it up to this small group of white men who are controlling what women can and cannot do with their bodies.
Oh, and then kids being involved. There's a lot of a growing number of state house representatives who are pushing for the lowering the legal age for consent and marriage as well. So this is where you talked about the AI thing, and this is this society. I'll never forget. And this was like years ago. I had a conversation with Shanae, and she kept saying, she says, they're going to one day make this okay, make it legal for kids to marry, for kids to have sex with adults, because this is a sick world. And these people who are making these laws are sick individuals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Our producer Greer, she probably say, just watch The Handmaid's Tale. It's all there. It's all there. It's nothing
It's
new.
all there.
It's all there.
Boy.
On it.
It's just ridiculous, though. It is really sad that grown men and grown women go along with this stuff. I mean, you were a child once,
Right.
so
Right. But in lighter news, Michelle Obama took the IG yesterday to promote her new book, The Look. Now, she says it's a reflection of her lifelong journey with fashion, hair, and beauty. And she's also addressing basically what it means to be a Black woman in white spaces, how they judge you on your appearance, whether she had braids, whether she had a bob, whether she wore a J. Crew, or whether she wore Vera Wang, just all of the scrutiny. So The Look will be available on November 4th.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I don't understand. Once again, I said it yesterday. Everybody's coming out with these books in the fall, and they already started to kind of push it. And that is just, unless things have changed in the last few years with book publishing, it's generally I said it yesterday. You wait a little while before to the run up of the book release, especially with this news cycle. It's like, are we going to be thinking about Michelle Obama's book tomorrow, even tomorrow, with everything that's going on? Maybe, maybe not. It's a switch in policy, and I got to look this up. I got to talk to some people that I know in the industry, because it's certainly a switch in policy, because we've seen Cory Booker, we've seen Karine yesterday, we see Michelle, all coming out with books in the fall. And it's usually on the publisher's I forget what they call it, but agenda is, for lack of a better term, agenda that they put out, that yes, we have these books coming in the fall, we have these books coming in the winter, et cetera, et cetera. but to push it this way so early is a new thing, and I wonder why.
Okay. I mean,
Just,
I don't
just
know. I don't have the answer.
yeah, I just wonder why they decided that it has to have been a change in the industry, because again, Kareen's book is you can't even pre-order the thing, and that would be the point of early publicity to pre-order. So
Or to
I don't get
tease.
it.
Sometimes you tease something.
Yeah, and you know, and maybe in Michelle Obama's case, you know, in Cory Booker's case, maybe even Kareen's case, they're just viewing this as teasers. I don't know. I don't know. I know with all the publicity that now Michelle will get publicity. I don't think she's going to have any problems getting publicity later. But Kareen and Corey, I think that is a gamble. So we'll see. We will see. All right. You got more headlines?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. So we're gonna get into our black facts then. So uh, on this date in 1869, Dillard University was chartered. Dillard, a pillar of black excellence in higher education, emerged from the legacies of New Orleans University and Straight University, two institutions that were founded to empower African Americans in the segregated South. It chartered in 1930 and named after educational reformer James Hardy Dillard. The university has been led by a series of trailblazing presidents who each left a distinct mark. Leaders like Dr. Michael Lomax, Dr. Marlene Hughes, the first woman president, and the culturally savvy hip hop prez, Dr. Walter Kimbrough, all helped shape Dillard into a nationally respected liberal arts institution. So it's an anniversary for Dillard University.
Hey, we've been in New Orleans a lot today. Okay, we got the Guardian Summit, June 11th and 12th in New Orleans. And we're talking about Dillard. And then unfortunately, we were talking about, the laws of Louisiana. But nevertheless, Black folks are thriving and surviving and glowing. And continuing with our Black history, we have some Black history today. And of course, it falls in line with June is Black Music Month. So this month we'll be celebrating our music and our contributions to American culture. And so just this week, Dr. Chelsea Green is making music and Black history by becoming the first Black woman elected chair of the Recording Academy Board of Trustees. Now, Dr. Green's election marks several historic firsts for the Recording Academy. In addition to becoming the first Black woman elected chair, Dr. Green, who's only 39, is also the youngest person ever elected to serve as chair of the Grammys. Now, the recording artist, entrepreneur, and educator who leads her ensemble, Chelsea Green, and the Green Project, is the third Black officer elected to serve as chair. Before her, there was Jimmy Jam of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. He served from 2007 to 2009. And then there's Harvey Mason Jr., who served from 2019 to 2021, who later became the Grammy CEO. And so there you have your Black Music Month fact and a little Black history coming out of the Grammys.
Yeah, the Grammys, they also a few years ago, not long ago, maybe 10 years ago or less, the daughter of the congressman, oh gosh, popular congressman, I can't call his name, but he's in the South, but nonetheless, his daughter had taken a job with them. It was a high profile hire too at the time. I can't think of his name. Somebody say his name. So it was his daughter, very popular congressman. I can't think of his name, but his daughter, she used to work at Amazon and other corporations. She led a lot of different corporations, and then Grammys snatched her up, and I don't know why I can't think of her name. Gosh. Well, it's a senior moment. There you go. Getting old. So our Black-owned newspaper today, and Mike V, by the way, makes a point, Niele, on the book thing. He says ebooks can be released faster than the hardback, and maybe that's part of that strategy.
Mhm.
So that's a good point, Mike. Thanks for bringing that up, because it's just been maybe it's a personal thing in my brain, like I gotta figure this out. Why is it happening like this? So thank you, Mike. Um, so our Black-owned newspaper of the day is the Carolinian. The Carolinian is the largest African American owned newspaper in North Carolina. The circulation covers 2/3 of the state, which is the most dense African American population in North Carolina. In addition to spanning the state, the newspaper also spanned generations of readers. The Carolinian, check them out online, or if you're in the area, pick up a copy of the Carolinian. It's a really good newspaper down there.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. And be sure to check in with us over the weekend at BlackPressUSA.com. And be sure to like and subscribe all of the Black Press USA social handles. Had a fantastic week, Stacy. And I'm sure this weekend, the Trump and Elon Musk saga will continue and we will have more updates on Monday. But if it has something happens before Monday, check out BlackPressUSA.com.
Yeah, so it's funny because it seems been a trend lately that things usually nothing dropped on a Friday evening or the weekend. Now, please, that's gone out the window. So it can happen. So here we are, and you see the top story there right now. Republicans have been warned to protect health credits or pay politically. I don't know that they're going to be scared by their constituents as much as they're scared of Trump. So we'll see what happens.
Have a great weekend, guys.
See you Monday.